This is a video that's meant to draw your attention to a sport that you didn't know you were missing. A sport that celebrates each athlete's willingness to pursue their potential, practice remorseless consistency, push their limits, and ultimately become better, both in body and mind. It's a sport where the work you put into it physically manifests itself on your body. And it's a sport that's had a massive and profound positive impact on my own life. Can you guess what it is? It's natural bodybuilding. Alas, although its popularity is growing, there still seems to be a lack of overall awareness surrounding it, as it's vastly overshadowed by its more popular counterpart, enhanced bodybuilding. Household names like bodybuilding celebrities Chris Bumstead and Sam Sulek, or bodybuilding science experts like Mike Israetel are some of the best known bodybuilding figures out there. In fact, when many hear the term bodybuilding, those are some of the names that probably come to mind first, all of whom are enhanced, not natural. It's these kinds of bodybuilding role models that are predominantly looked up to, and as such, might have an influence that normalizes steroid use for anyone that's interested in pursuing bodybuilding. I think that people just aren't aware of the other world of bodybuilding, a world where each athlete aims to pursue their real human potential with no artificial enhancements. And that is the world of natural bodybuilding. This video is not meant to take pot shots at enhanced bodybuilding. Rather, it's a means to share reasons why natural bodybuilding very well could be the sport that you didn't know you were missing. Here's the first reason. Many people have an intrinsic desire to seek out and embark on some kind of adventure, to challenge themselves, push their limits, learn, and reap the rewards of the growth and self-betterment that comes from that process. Natural bodybuilding is the perfect means of doing that. In a nutshell, here are two of the main pillars of natural bodybuilding. The first one is lifting weights consistently with the intention of progressing by increasing the difficulty of your training sessions over time. And the second is practicing control over your diet to manipulate your body's ability to build muscle or lose fat, both of which can lend themselves to be a challenge. Lifting heavier and heavier weights or doing more and more reps is hard, to say the least. It takes grit and determination and means often pushing the body and the mind to go past its current limitations. And outside of the gym, practicing control over one's eating, especially when it comes to getting particularly lean, means learning how to, at times, embrace and live with hunger. That means practicing self-control and learning to become a master of one's emotions and desires. All that to say, the more you aim to pursue those challenges, the more your body will change, and the more your mental fortitude will strengthen as well. It is a perfect adventure, what so many people deeply seek. You face a challenge head-on, grow from it, and then acquire the rewards that come from that growth. Here's the second reason. The kind of physique that most people only dream of having for themselves is naturally attainable. I think this might be something that many people don't realize. Take a look at a few natural bodybuilding competitors that I know. This is my friend Tyler, who recently won a WMBF Pro card in men's bodybuilding and a WMBF Pro card in men's classic physique. And this is Alex, who just won multiple bodybuilding pro cards in the WMBF and the OCB. Both of these guys have incredible physiques that were accomplished through years of pursuing the adventure that is natural bodybuilding. And here are a few others, like Jeff Alberts, who's competed dozens of times. He has a world-class pro physique, and he's in the midst of another prep as we speak at age 54. And here's Leo King, a veteran pro-level natural bodybuilder who's placed top 5 at the WMBF Worlds competition twice over the past decade. Honestly, I could go on and on. There are some truly incredible natural bodybuilders out there. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's cool and all, but it probably was super tough for them to build their physiques, and it probably took them years and years of being consistent. Yeah, you better believe it. They all worked incredibly hard, and they did so for many years. But that's one of the reasons why it's so darn rewarding. Not just because of the physique that you end up building, but because of the amount of sheer effort it takes to get it. Do you really believe it would be even remotely as rewarding to develop that kind of physique within a year or even a series of months, like what many people seem to falsely believe taking steroids will lead them to? Heck no. Here's reason 3. Natural bodybuilding is something you can fit within the context of a balanced lifestyle. Do you remember the 2 pillars of natural bodybuilding I mentioned earlier? The first is hard training, and the second is controlled eating. The thing with both of those pillars is they can overlap with the rest of your life. You can still go to work, have a family, and enjoy your other hobbies. When it comes to training, all you need to do is prioritize an hour to 2 hour long, focused, and intentional training sessions several times each week. On the absolute upper end of that, say 12 hours a week of 6 2-hour sessions of intentional training, that's still only 12 hours out of the 168 hours in a week. That's 7% of the entire week. For the other 93%, you can fill your week with other stuff. 12 hours is extreme, by the way. Training half of that or even a third of that will lead to amazing progress for most people. And with controlled nutrition, in reality, that shouldn't take any additional time. You would have to take time to eat whether you're trying to manipulate your body's muscle and fat levels or not. The main difference is that you're just choosing to spend your time eating foods that are more appropriate for your goals rather than not. At most, you might be spending an extra hour or 2 meal prepping each week, but that oftentimes ends up saving time and money at the end of the day over the alternative. So if you've been thinking about developing your physique through natural bodybuilding, but have been reluctant to get started from having a belief that it would just take too much time, think again. And here's reason 4. Being a natural bodybuilder is a means of simultaneously developing your physique whilst promoting your overall health and longevity when done well. The key goals of natural bodybuilding is to build muscle, get stronger, to build more muscle, stay within a healthy body fat percentage with the exception of getting stage lean for a relatively short period of time, practicing healthy eating, getting good sleep, and living a healthy, structured lifestyle, which usually omits using party drugs. All of that is conducive of living a longer, healthier life. Having a good foundation of muscle and strength greatly reduces the probability of injuring yourself. And simply having a good amount of muscle means great things for your metabolic health too. And staying within a healthy body fat percentage, with the exception of getting stage lean for a relatively short period of time, absolutely minimizes your risk of developing a massive list of health issues like heart disease or diabetes. And that's not mentioning the positive effects it can have on your mental health. You might be thinking, well, that sounds great and all, but isn't lifting weights risky in itself? Pursuing anything has risk, definitely. But compared to any other activity or sport, when done properly, it's one of the least risky, believe it or not. Strength training involves moving weights with control. Sure, every now and again, when you push your limits, you might get an injury here and there. But you would likely develop injuries here and there if you were to not do strength training too. And oftentimes, those kind of injuries end up being significantly worse. And here's reasons 5 and 6. Both are a bit shorter. Reason 5, you don't have to compete to enjoy natural bodybuilding. I think the wrongful assumption is often made that in order to be classified as a natural bodybuilder, you need to step on stage. In my opinion, that's just not true. Anyone who takes on the adventure of bettering themselves through naturally building their physique by lifting weights, controlling their nutrition, and living a lifestyle that's conducive of their physique goals is a natural bodybuilder. Regardless of if you're a hardcore competitor or a lifestyle natural bodybuilder who's passionate about lifting weights and developing your physique, you can get a ton of joy from the sport. And reason 6, as a natural bodybuilder, you'll find yourself in one of the best communities out there. Imagine a community full of other people who all have the common interest of developing themselves both physically and holistically through the challenge of natural bodybuilding. I found personally that some of the fondest memories that I look back on are when I've been backstage at a competition, hanging out with the other athletes that I'm about to get on stage with. Many of the people who I'm closest with and have been in touch with the longest are actually other competitors I've met either at a gym or backstage at a competition. That all being said, as I mentioned earlier, I know the community is still relatively small. To help grow the community, I actually built one that's exclusive to natural bodybuilders on Discord. It's called the Natural Bodybuilding Society, where you can connect, find relatability, ask questions, learn from each other, talk shop, and support each other. The community is both for natural bodybuilders who currently compete or who are thinking about competing in the future, and lifestyle natural bodybuilders who enjoy the sport non-competitively. You are 100% welcome to join, by the way. I've left a link in the description below for you to do so. Now, if you're someone who's developing an interest in natural bodybuilding or who is already an avid natural bodybuilder, here's something that will probably reinforce your liking of the sport even more. Checking out a live local competition. Take a look at the competitors who get on stage. See what it's all about. Natural bodybuilding shows are both exciting and inspirational in the respect that you get to see some amazing physiques in real life, in real time. It's different than social media. It's better than social media. And also, it helps to grow the sport. So I would definitely recommend checking out if there are any local shows close to you. Invite your friends and spend part of the day watching. You might find you absolutely love it. All right. At this point, I want to hear from you. What do you think about the points that I shared in this video? Is there anything awesome about natural bodybuilding that I might have missed? Let me know in the comments below. And also, a reminder that you're invited to join the growing Natural Bodybuilding Society on Discord. Just hit the link in the description below, join the community, and I'll see you in there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.